Hi, I'm Cal.
And hey, I'm John.
Today we're going to be talking about Quantum Break. So tell us, John, what is Quantum Break?
Quantum Break is a busted-ass game that no one should play, ever.
Is it a game? I thought it was a TV show.
Quantum Break is the newest game from Remedy Studios. They're based in Finland. They're really known for Alan Wake, Max Payne back in the day.
Good stuff.
This is their newest one for everybody.
Okay, it's the newest one. So I know you're a big fan of Remedy.
I'm a huge fan of Remedy.
So let's just put it out there. What do you think about this game?
It's pretty lackluster is the best word I could use.
It's a little lackluster.
Well, it's pretty disappointing. You know, I was a huge Alan Wake fan, huge Remedy fan. I think they're great, and I could see the effort in the game. My biggest problem is it's piss poor.
Yeah, and my biggest problem is that it's not fully a game. It's also a TV show. So it's not really all that you want it to be. Like it's part game, part TV show. There's a lot of like backstory and like you can read all this shit in the game. But it's all in one big thing, and I feel like you lose a lot of it.
It's a clusterfuck of a TV show and a clusterfuck of a video game that comes together and creates another clusterfuck.
Right, and it does all these things, and none of them are really done that well. Like there's times when they're great, but there's times when, for the most part, not so good.
Yeah, it's like bad TV, CSI style mixed with a mediocre game.
Right.
It's kind of a weird mishmash.
Yeah. All right, so if you're familiar with Remedy game stuff, some of their earlier work like Alan Wake, this is going to be kind of similar to that, except there's going to be a lot more action, a little bit more shoot-bangy stuff. There's going to be not as much of the cool atmospheric, environmental, everything that you would
All right, you're going on. So I want to grab coffee first, and then we can continue this discussion, because you'll just go on forever.
Right, okay, let's get some coffee.
All right, cool.
You know what? I'm gonna do a lot. You said you got a quad?
You don't want a quad.
I don't want a quad. I don't want to be up for a week. I'll do a double.
The standard latte is 2 shots of espresso.
Okay.
Quad is 4.
You're gonna. No wonder you don't sleep ever.
I'm going to shit my pants and then rock it
to
the air.
My syrup, because I'm a baby.
I was gonna say you need a little.
A little sugar, a little syrup. Don't judge me.
I am, because it's delicious coffee and you're ruining it.
Yeah, well.
Fuck! Shit.
We should probably preface this by letting everybody know we're playing this on PC. We are playing this on Windows 10.
It came out for Xbox One, and it came out for, not PC, it came out for Windows 10 DirectX only. The technical issues are atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, what were you playing on? You had your PC. I mean, what kind of graphics card did you have?
All right, so let me go over what I have. I have a pretty beastly rig I built over time. So I have 4770K Intel i7 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, SLI 970s. I run the game at 1440p. Pretty beastly rig.
Yeah.
It would frame chuck. It would just bog out. It would glitch. The other thing is, it doesn't support SLI at all. So you could throw 3 graphics cards in there, it will not utilize any of them. And that goes back to the thing of being a Windows exclusive. It actually be purchased not through Steam or any of these other ways. It's be purchased through the Windows Store, which nobody fucking uses.
Yeah, that was my first time using it, was with this game, and I wasn't a fan of it. Like, there's little things that I noticed that were missing. This is kind of nitpicky, but it doesn't have a quit feature, things like that. You know what I mean? You can't just scroll down and quit the game. You gotta like Alt F4 or whatever.
I have to interrupt you because that was the first thing. Because someone mentioned it online when I was reading. I was like, no, that's bullshit. Like, come on, this is 2016, current year.
Yeah.
Current year. So I'm like, okay, so I boot the game up and I look around, and I just go, there's no fucking quit button. I went out loud by myself in my office. I go, there's no fucking quit button. Options, play, continue. Quit's like, nope, fuck you, I don't exist.
Nothing prepared me for the weirdness that was waiting there. And even that was just a prelude to the bad stuff that would follow in that same place later.
The cover system in the game, like the way you use these weapons, are kind of shitty. Like, you can hide behind stuff, but in order to actually, there's no blind fire. So whenever you're covered, you can't shoot, over blind fire. In order to actually shoot somebody, you have to get up.
Yeah.
So get out of cover. You have to get up out of cover and just start shooting at people, taking damage, most certainly, unless you're using your time abilities, and then you can go back down and crouch down and shoot again.
Yeah, it's a triggered system for the cover. So yeah, you get close enough to the barrier, and you'll just duck down automatically, which is generally fine. But then you can't do anything unless you're out of that system. So the cover system is great as a temporary solution but there's nothing else you could do. You can't go from cover to cover in a streamlined way. It's just it feels weird.
The good news is the game's only about maybe 8 hours long, so maybe I thought you could just finish in one sit through. Just just sit down, play it.
Yeah, you grab it. You get a quad.
Yeah, you just get a quad. You just tear through it because I mean it's a 10-hour experience. That's including the TV show. Right.
And the TV show pads on about an hour.
At least, because you have 4 episodes. Each one's about 20-25 minutes. It's like a length of an actual episode of a half-hour TV show.
Yeah.
So and they feel longer than that. Maybe it's just me.
They're boring.
But because they're breaking up the game, so you're playing the game, you're getting into it, and I won't forget the first time I played the game, I was getting really into the combat. I was loving it so much, and all of a sudden it's like, now for an episode, and I was sitting there going, okay, wait, what's happening here? And then the next thing I know, I'm just put the controller down, I'm sitting there, I'm watching a TV show, and it's
not even good TV.
It's really not that good. It's don't get me wrong, it's not terrible. I mentioned the cast had a great cast. Like you said, you have Lance Reddick, from Fringe. You have some really recognizable faces, and the acting for the most part in the TV show is pretty good. But the TV show itself is kind of generic when you take into account that the game itself it could be so much fun if they just would have taken the things from the TV show and made them in the game. You want to play these things. You don't want to watch them.
Right, you do all these experiences through the television show, and then you're like, why am I not playing this? I understand it's an experience, and some games are very story-driven and linear, and Remedy has a history of doing that to a degree. But at the same time, it's like, why am I not playing these pieces about these characters that are kind of more interesting than some of the stuff that's going on? I can't remember half of them. I remember Jack Joyce.
Yeah.
And I remember him, and I have no idea where the fuck he comes from.
Let's talk about Jack Joyce. Yeah, we didn't touch on Jack Joyce. Let's talk about this. This is a protagonist who comes out of nowhere. He's like William Joyce's brother, Dominic Monaghan's character.
Right.
So he comes into the scene, and I guess Will, his brother, is working on a time machine with Aidan Gillen, Paul Serene, guy from Game of Thrones, Littlefinger. So they're getting together, making a time machine. All of a sudden, they call up Jack Joyce. Who the fuck is Jack Joyce? I don't know. He had he got to some trouble in Asia or something. Okay, so he comes here and he suddenly knows how to use every weapon.
Yep.
He knows how to shoot, reload, every kind of military grade weapon that you find.
Absolutely.
Not only that, but he also understands the fundamentals of time travel enough to be able to utilize his abilities, incorporate that into the game, and then even eventually down the road, try to, no spoilers here, try to dabble in the actual time travel itself, on the technical aspect of it.
Yeah, not even I have these powers. I could get to the believability of he gains these powers, right? And he can just use them naturally. It's okay, I can suspend disbelief, he gained powers. Just in my head I could think of something, he can just do that and it just comes to fruition. But, he's like, oh, we gotta do this thing. He's typing on the computer. I'm like, how the fuck do you know how to do these things? Yes, your brother is a scientist. Your brother is a genius. Uh-huh. You know how to shoot every gun. So you could be a mercenary. You could be anything. There's no backstory to him. Right. I have no idea who he is, except he's this guy's brother. He has cuffed pants. That's all I know about this gentleman. Right. And then he knows the fundamentals of time travel on a technical level. Not oh, I understand going from A to B to C. It's oh, I understand how the system works. It's how? Okay, I get that. Explain to me how. Nah, fuck you.
No.
And
it's all about showing, not telling. You know what I mean? It's all this stuff that it throws at you, all these great visual effects, and everything's going on, but you're just at the end of the day, you're going, yeah, but what does it matter? There's these moments in the game where you have these things called quantum ripples, or these you reach these points that are junctions, where you make these choices that are supposed to have these big impacts on say the show, but then a lot of times it's just very innocuous things, a TV will turn on in an episode, and you're like, okay, I did that, awesome. Yay for me, but you don't really feel it's really worth it. You're going through all this trouble in the game, collecting all these things and changing things that may affect the show, only to have it not really matter.
Okay, what do you want to cover first? You tell me.
But visually it was great. Technical issues aside, had its own style. Character models were fantastic.
They really were.
Sound design was good. You're right. The sound design was good. Not perfect, but definitely good. So on a visual and experience level in that way, it was solid. And then I'm gonna go with the cons.
Let's go to the cons.
I'm gonna briefly go over them. So technical issues, huge. I don't give a shit about the characters. Disjointed as all hell. It's three things meshed into one that I could care less about any of them. Right. Decision making and factors that have nothing to do with anything and don't actually pay off at the end. And just boring.
Oh, good. Going into marketing spiel mode.
Don't ruin my flow.
What do you say, man? Buy it, play it.
Fuck it.
I'm gonna say play it. At least play it, guys. Play the game. It's not the worst game. I say don't buy it. It's definitely not a $60 game. But if it goes on sale for $20, something like that, I'd say pick it up. It's not the worst experience. But if you're a diehard Remedy fan, you're not gonna.
I'm disagreeing. I think it's a pile of shit.
I think I've seen worse games, but yeah, you know, watch somebody play it first, maybe then.
Yeah, you're better off watching a Let's Play if
Watch
you
a
really
Let's Play.
care about any of that. But yeah, fuck it for sure.
Fuck it. All right.
On my end, it's a fuck it for sure.
There you go.